It's set in the north. Donnie drops his H's and his trousers when he can. He's not a philosophical or educated man, but he works hard for his wages and he looks out for his man. Donnie will tell you that he's 6 foot tall, but he's actually 5'10". And Donnie will back up his mates in a fight because he knows that he's backed by them. And all his tattoos are spelt just right, and he don't read the Daily Mail, but he's read a lot of Catherine Cookson books because that's all that they had in the library and jail. And on the day we meet him, Donnie's ready for a big weekend. The business of fun booms, even in Doncaster. We leap a few steps up the hierarchy, the indignity of dull cues and final reminders firmly behind us. So now Donnie will dress up nice, wear too much aftershave, pretend he's someone else and drink and rave and follow his mates from one bar to another. Keep an eye on Billy, his younger brother. Because their parents joined the world uneducated, went to underfunded schools and the schools got slated and their grades are shit and their options none, so they fail and they're fucked and the cycle goes on. And they talk on street corners and they drink and they eat and they talk and watch the telly because the telly comes cheap and it entertains and educates and keeps them off the street. They consume the advertisements, then head up to bed to sleep, to dream of what they can't afford, and to love each other, and to birth 2 brothers, Billy and Donnie, and then one other who was pushed out cold by their broken mother. But now in the dark of the first bar, Donnie stood, statuesque but tastelessly dressed. Beauty clothed in cheap nylon cloth, beauty what's hidden till the clothes come off. Beauty that he wouldn't name that way because it's not a manly thing to say to a guy like him. There are other words like fit or stacked that he prefers. So now they're stood in a long thin bar and the music's fast and loud and the drinks are a luminous shade of green and they're coated in heat and the sweat of the crowd and it's Donnie's round and he's crushed in the throng. Caught half turn, he catches the eye of this dark petite girl who is leant on the bar with her mouth to the ear of the bartender placing an order. And she looks to her left and she catches his eye and her focus is him, not the barman's reply. And her smile stops time for a second or so. Then she's turned, grabbed a drink and had to go. Then gone, lost in the bar's thick and thirsty throng. And Donnie stood still. Donnie can't move because her beauty has grabbed him by the guts and pulled and he feels weak but he can't show it, can't let the girl or his best mates know it, so it's back to the bar for the vodka and Jaeger, back to his lads and their laddish behaviour to lean and to leer on the edge of the bar, but his eyes follow her and she ain't gone far. She's swaying her hips on the sticky dance floor on the carpeted bit near the fire escape door. And she is Helen. Helen's not how she's known at home, not the name passed down through families, but rather than navigate the complexities of I's and E's that slow down every introduction, Helen's quick, chosen to function. Helen's ambitious and here to learn, that's why she's in England. And she couldn't get into her first choice place, but Doncaster College is no disgrace, and the website told her 2 hours to London and all that fun and English in England. So she arrived and was surprised, but ultimately glad to be in this place, its lethargic pace, and now she's met this man who she can't work out, can't articulate, but he's bought her a drink and to think drink feels great. And she swears and she feels more than chooses to move her frame as the crowd peruses or is perused, because why go if not to look or be looked at? It's a public place to put yourself on show. But she don't mind. She's loose and happy to sway and grind, to bend her body and soften her face, to press herself into his personal space, and his hand meets hand and back meets chest. She can feel the strength of his muscles through his vest, which makes him look fit, though it's not on trend. Because Donnie's a catch, if you know what I mean. He's fit, she likes it, and he moves like a dream, which you wouldn't expect from a guy like him, who's drunk too much beer and joined in on a whim. And in this most unlikely setting, something's happening that they weren't expecting. Because they feel something that's pure and real, and all that cheese you're meant to feel when you fall in love. All those old cliches. Helen looks up and does that small half smile that you do when you don't want to look manic with a full-on grin. Just to give him a hint that you're into him, or to her or to them, because we're not here to judge. These decisions could be made by any one of us. But now Billy's staggering over. Billy is drunk and high, and Billy is after an argument, and it doesn't take long to find, because Billy looks at Helen and there's poison in his mind, and his words are coming too fast to stop, and with a sneer on his lips he flings his poison onto them and it burns them as it sticks. He yells, "Who the hell's this chink, Don?" And no sooner than he has, then a girl appears at their shoulders asking, "Helen, who's this chav?" Chink is a vile and reductive word, and so is chav. Because neither of those words can sum up all that a person has. And it's made it weird and awkward, and that's sometimes all it takes for something new and delicate to fracture and to break. Donnie will tell you that he's 6 foot tall, but he's actually 5'10". And Donnie will back up his mates in a fight because he knows that he's backed by them. And Donnie will help out a stranger, and he'll give up his seat on the bus. Donnie gives money to the souls on the street because it could be any one of us. Donnie's out on the pavement now. Donnie's seeing red. There's glass in his palms where the drinks have been smashed, and a pounding throb in the back of his head. And he looks at his brother, his wingman, his mate, and he balls his fist and he shifts his weight, and he hears those words, and his frame deflates. Because though he's been hurt by Billy's words and all that they imply, what's worse is that if their actions were reversed, then it could have been, would have been, might have been him, with that thought in his mind and that word in his mouth. Which is why we find Helen, alone in the bright grey Doncaster dawn, leaning against a bus stop with a slim menthol that she swapped for a swirl of vodka-flavoured tongue and a press of lip-glossed flesh. She smokes and relives the drunken kissing, feeling like something she never actually had was missing. Donnie, topless and barefoot, is in his mate's kitchen. Newest tattoo exposed and itching, scratching and fumbling for cigarettes to breathe his indecision into the cold Doncaster morning. And the air is cold, and the garden's a mess, and the hairs rise up on his arms and his chest, and he steps past a pram and some cardboard that's wet though it hasn't been raining. And he reaches the grass that's predominantly mud, and the soles of his feet drink upwards. It's good to anchor himself into something bigger than he is, bigger than the thoughts in his head. And he wanted the fag, but it's making him cough and start to feel sick, so he flicks it off and away to his right where it lands still smouldering. Not knowing that half a mile away, Helen is looking up and holding out her arm for the bus that'll take her out of his part of the city, to a cold bed and a concerned housemate. And Donnie will fill her daydreams as she tries to concentrate. But not for long, because we all move on. Donnie drops his H's, and he drives around in his van. He looks out for his mum and his brother as much as he possibly can, and he remembers that girl from the dance floor, and that romance he almost began. And Donnie makes bad choices, but they're as easy for him to take as it is for us to sit and judge, and if we hadn't had our breaks, then it could have been, would have been, might have been us.